Good morning, Amy. I think you've joined every day this week. It's been so nice. Hi, Carol. Good morning. So sad we aren't doing laughter yoga today. I will get back to you when I see if there's a time that we could reschedule that for. Miss Em is here too. Good morning. So how is everybody checking in? Hi, Laura. I'm glad you're here. Happy Friday. I usually try and keep my Fridays at work pretty mellow, but this Friday is not. So I have a lot to do today, and then I'm looking forward to the weekend. Even though it's supposed to be rainy here. Carol says, good, very happy. Just had a quick visit with my son. Always good to see him. Yeah. My son called me 3 times yesterday. Well, my oldest called me 3 times yesterday. He's home waiting. He's waiting his orders for his next duty station and not working. So home with the baby all day long. And he calls a lot because he gets bored. And then my youngest has been calling a lot lately too, not 3 times a day because they're working full time, but most afternoons when they get off work, they will call me on their way home from work. So that's always fun. Aren't we lucky to have kids that love talking to us? All right, I need to think about my check-in today. Hopeful. What is today? October 24th. I always have to write it down right away because otherwise I'll forget. I am feeling hopeful. Carol says, indeed, yeah. Miss Em says, already had a rushed morning. Thankful for this moment with you all. We're thankful that you can pause and join us. Laura says, checking in insightful, but a bit unsettled, needing some grounding. Well, I can help with that, hopefully. Any other check-ins? Today is our last sunny day for a while. I think it's supposed to be cold, like 55 this weekend, and rainy, and then next week in the 60s instead of the 70s, which is fine with me. I love the 60s. I think the 60s are like perfect temperatures. 68, it's like a good fine wine. I don't know, I've never had fine wine. Amy's just feeling grounded, climbed a rock and watched the sunrise this morning. Laura says super frost this morning, almost looks like snow. We haven't had a frost yet here, but I'm ready. I love colder weather. So my husband loves summer. I love fall and winter. I like sweatshirts and sweaters. Carol says we had frost this morning. Brr, warmer now. Yeah. So Tammy, I'm like, it's October. It should be frosting. So I just saw a picture of, I think it was 4 years ago in Spokane. We had a huge snowstorm on the day on yesterday state, um, like 6 inches of snow, and I don't miss that. I will say that. I like snow, but not in October. Carol said I hadn't seen Laura's text. Welcome to autumn. Yeah. All right. Well, since we've had your check-ins, I'm actually going to start our grounding today with a reading because I kind of want to center the grounding that I do on what we hear in the reading. So find that position that is conducive to going inward for you. That might be cross-legged on the floor in a traditional kind of pose. If you're in a chair, it might be, uncrossing your legs and getting your feet on something solid, feeling your sit bones. If you're laying down, it might be propping your head up a little bit, uncrossing your legs, resting your arms at your sides, palms up. If you want to close your eyes, if that's safe for you right now, I invite you to do that, or maybe a soft gaze. And if you need to keep your eyes open, see if you can find something calming to center your gaze on. And I am going to read this morning from Awakening Creativity. Name your inner artist. All of our anxieties about creativity stem from one debilitating myth, that we are solely responsible for the act of creation. We experience fear and worry because we believe that what we create is a reflection of our worthiness, which it is not. Art is an expression coming through us. It has a life of its own. Creativity does not care about praise, accolades, gallery sales, timelines, or social media trends. When we accept and respect creativity for what it is, rather than what we want it to be, we release our need to confine it with the smallness of our desires. We accept it as a mysterious and powerful force that encompasses wisdom and foresight beyond our wildest imaginings. What if we served our creativity rather than expecting us to serve it? If you worry about how to find your style, let me assure you that you can relax. Your style is a natural part of yourself, just as your fingerprint is unique to you. Rather than focusing on finding your style, focus on finding what awakens and delights your creative spirit. Your style is not something you have to force or consciously think about to be a real or successful artist. Surrender to the living spirit within, dance with it often, and your style will be revealed effortlessly and joyfully. Let this journey be about getting closer to creativity rather than being at it. Closer to creativity. Do what makes creativity come alive in you. As this closeness grows and your relationships deepens, your art naturally evolves into new forms and your style becomes more pronounced and obvious to you. Struggle in the creative process comes from misunderstanding the nature of creativity as well as our role in relation to it. We ask it to do the impossible, to be what it is not. It is not predictable, tame, tidy, controllable, small, known, neat, linear, or punctual. It is wild, unpredictable, mysterious, unknown, surprising, and unyielding. When we understand creativity's personality and how it works, we can relax and trust the timeless wisdom of its process. We are the bridge creativity uses to cross from the realm of the formless to the world of form. And so as we take a moment to ground ourselves in our space, I will encourage you to invite creativity to join you today. I'll invite you to open yourself up as a channel for what creativity wants to say through you, how it wants to touch other people, the way it wants to bring joy through you. The expression that needs hands, and those hands are yours. We don't control creativity. We allow it to control us. We give it form. We provide the function. It provides the beauty, the inspiration, the muse. The space where we can work together. And with that, I'll invite you to come back to the day, to the page, to the group, to the room, to your space. And let's create. Boy, doesn't that take a load off? I just started reading this book. It's brand new. It just came out like 2 days ago. I got it in the mail. And if you're not familiar with Carrie Schmidt, I invite you to go to her Instagram page. She is a force. And her art is unbelievable. So I take great inspiration from that. So if you were wondering who we are and what we do here, besides close our eyes and talk about creativity, this is our Mandala Universes. Jan says, good morning. Love, feeling love. Are you is your wedding this weekend? I think it is. I mean, not your wedding, your son's wedding. Laura says, wow, feeling that was directed straight to my soul. You should get this book, Kara. In fact, you know what? I can send it to you after I'm done with it. Or maybe I'll just send you your own copy. It's a good one. It's a really good one. I'll send you a copy. Anyway, we draw circles here. We're a group of creative vessels from around the world, and we gather every morning at 8 a.m. a Pacific time. So you adjust that to your time zone. And we connect with each other and we connect with ourselves. We check in, take the time to actually give voice to what we're feeling, which is, I learned early on in this, a very acquired skill. It takes time to build the skill of naming how you're feeling, because a lot of times it's just kind of ambiguous. And being able to build your vocabulary to have more words to fill that vague space is really magical. So we do that, and then we draw mandalas. And a mandala is just a circle. So people often think of mandalas as these elaborate, really intricately detailed, symmetrical pieces of art that start from the center and work their way out. And they're gorgeous and amazing. None of us have time for that every morning. So mandala is actually just the Sanskrit word for circle. And so you could fill your circle with whatever is needing expression that day. And if you take our reading, you will understand that it's not something that we try not to create what we have in mind, but rather give space for whatever needs to come out. And it's magical. And the friendships that have been formed here are magical. So we invite you into our magical circle. Laura says, how did you know that I was struggling with my style? I think we're all always struggling with our style. Jan says, tomorrow. I remember when I couldn't open new paints until I was worthy. Oh, Jan. I'm so glad that's changed. Laura says, that would be so special. It'll be on its way as soon as we're done here. Yeah. So it's fun to describe who we are, because who we are is so special and amazing, and so privileged to be a part of this magical space. Jan, do you have a pretty dress picked out? I want to know what you're wearing. Tell us all about it. Is it a dress? I had a friend that her son got married this summer, and she wore a beautiful suit, a pantsuit, but it was stunning. So yeah, I'm curious to know what you're wearing tomorrow to the wedding. Picking out dresses for the 2 weddings that we've had with my kids has been really fun. I loved both of them. Laura says, I feel you, Jan. Being a practicing artist for many years, I still struggle with using the good stuff. Oh, I just got a weird thing at the bottom. It says, add a Q&A sticker. What is your hidden talent? I'm not going to do that. That's not what we're doing here. YouTube, you can keep your suggestions to yourself. So this has been a busy week in my family, just with the things that my kids have going on. Some were traveling, some were sick, some were dealing with kids who had doctor's appointments, like not just your routine checkups. Like my grandson Xander had to do a sleep study this week because he has asthma and he snores. So they did a sleep study on Tuesday night, I think. No results yet, but curious to hear what they might be. Yeah, so lots of momming, lots of encouragement from afar. Yeah, it's such a such a gift to be able to love on people, my own kids or other people that are in need. I actually have a gal on my team at work that's going through something really, really, really horrible. And I was able to go shopping yesterday for a little care package that I'm going to mail today. I think that's one of the things I miss about having kids at home is having that direct outlet for, caring for others. And I have been feeling like I can be better at doing that from a distance, and so I'm pondering that. Getting Sherilyn's mail this week was really, I was like, I need to do this more. I need to tell the people in our circle how much I love them, and it's a reason to make things, right? Because then we get to send them on and share the wealth and the joy and the beauty. So just been pondering that this week. I also got my first HOA violation this week. We have a pretty low-key HOA. We've been here 2 years, and I haven't heard a peep out of them. But I got a letter this week, and they are asking us to take down our pathway lights because evidently that's not, they are not allowed in the, what are they called? Bylaws? I think that's not the right word. Whatever it is, the standards for the HOA. And so my husband and I drove around the block after dark, and we're like, there's 10 houses that have pathway lights. And then the next day, my sweet little neighbor right next door knocked on my door. She's in her 80s. She's a painter. She's absolutely amazing. And she came and knocked on my door. She goes, did you get a letter? Because she has them too. And I said, I sure did, Dolores. And she said, I'm not taking mine down. So I am working on composing a letter because to me, it's a safety issue. Our sidewalk, our porch, we have a porch and then a step down and about 8 feet of sidewalk and then another step down and then our sidewalk that goes to the city sidewalk. And I've had people not see that second step. Fortunately, no one has gotten hurt yet. But it's just a matter of time. And we have older friends. She has a sister that's in her 80s also that has fallen, the neighbor. And so I'm writing a very carefully worded and, of course I desire to be compliant with the HOA. However, I think that there is a good reason to have pathway lights, and we'll see where that goes. I've not traditionally been a confrontational person, but I am coming into my own in standing up for things that I believe in. And so I'm crafting a letter that I'm going to send, and I'm not taking the lights out. Plus, they look really pretty. They make the house look so pretty after dark. So we'll see. I'm not gonna go to my grave holding on to my pathway lights if it comes to that. But and I'm certainly not gonna pay, $1,000 fine for being non-compliant. I don't even know what fines look like, but this is my first experience with an HOA. But we'll see where that goes. God bless Dolores. She's my inspiration. I love her. Amy says, phew, I was worried it was going to be for a van parked. I don't think that they have any say about the city streets. And I actually, because we had a trailer that was parked back, like not a trailer, but a big kind of really worn out RV that was parked on one of the streets near here. And so I actually Googled our city's like RV restrictions because I was curious, like how long can this RV sit here? And you're fine. You are fine, Amy. You are welcome to park on our street any and every time you are in the neighborhood. but yes, that's funny. No, it wasn't because of you guys. Jan says, a gold gown with a long flowy cape. Ooh. That sounds beautiful. Let's see, it's, oh my gosh, it's 8:28. All right, folks. So if anybody has words that have come to you as you've allowed creativity to flow through you this morning, I would love to hear them. I'm looking at mine. I think it's use your power. Use your power. Carol says, stand your ground. And Miss M says, safety is a big deal. And Miss M says, haha, Amy. And Pamela's here. Hi, Pamela. I hope you slept well last night and that today is a wonderful day. Mwah. Give your mom a hug from all of us. And Cheryl popped in too. Good morning. I love these little last minute pop-ins from people. Cheryl says, happy to be here with you for a few path lighted minutes. Well, I hope that we lit your path today. All right, friends, I keep adding things. Sometimes it's hard to stop, isn't it? Okay, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. I'm gonna jump into work now and I will see you next Friday from my mom's kitchen. Laura's words are dance with creativity often. And with that, I will send you off. Thank you, my friends. Have a wonderful day.